Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Jay Ogaraj and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The Foreign Minister has prepared a report to reply the queries submitted by the UN Human Rights Chief. The UNHRC commends the efforts of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa addressing aspirations of civilians. Daily COVID cases count climbs to 2,560 yesterday. Sri Lanka records 135 new COVID-related deaths. The Health Ministry says that there are over 24 million who have been vaccinated against COVID-19 in Sri Lanka. Cabral appointed CB governor. News overseas. Afghanistan crisis. Taliban kills civilians in resistance stronghold. In sports, the third and final T20 match between Sri Lanka and South Africa will be played today as a night encounter. We move on to local news in detail now. The Foreign Minister GL Peiris has prepared a report to reply to the queries submitted by the UN Human Rights Chief. Earlier, the UN Human Rights Chief said the current social, economic and governance challenges faced by Sri Lanka indicate the corrosive impact that militarization and the lack of accountability continue to have on fundamental rights, civic space, democratic institutions, social cohesion and sustainable development. The Foreign Minister has prepared a comprehensive report in connection with safeguarding the human rights in Sri Lanka. The laws pertaining to the human rights are implemented successfully to safeguard the rights of the general public. Meanwhile, the UNHRC commends the efforts of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa addressing aspirations of civilians. The Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry reports yesterday that another 805 persons have tested positive for COVID-19. It moves the daily total of new cases to 2,560. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of coronavirus reported in the country to 488,482. As many as 414,295 recoveries and 11,431 deaths have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the pandemic. The Epidemiology Unit's data showed that 62,758 active cases are currently under medical care. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking.
Continuing with more stories here at home. The total number of people who fell victim to COVID-19 infection in Sri Lanka soared yet again at 135 more fatalities confirmed by the Director General of Health Services yesterday. The new development has pushed the official death toll from the virus outbreak in Sri Lanka to 11,431. According to the data released by the Department of Government Information, the latest victims include 71 males and 64 females. As many as 109 deaths were reported among elderly people who are aged above 60 years. Former State Minister Ajit Nazar has been appointed as the Governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka by the President with effect from the 15th of September, Presidential Media Division said. Former State Minister had already tendered his resignation from the ministerial post in Parliament to the Party General Secretary. Mr. Ajit Nazar, a senior economist, has resigned from the minister post with the sole purpose of accepting the central governor post offered by the President. Mr. Cabral accepted the President's call to take up the central governor post to put the economic policies on the right path. That's on local news.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Health Ministry says that there are over 24 million who have been vaccinated against COVID-19 in Sri Lanka. Over 18 million people have been vaccinated with both doses. The government has already received over 27.4 million COVID vaccination doses, among which about 7 million doses have been received as donations. Another 4 million doses will be received within the next month. The Health Ministry revealed that the government has spent about 67 billion rupees for the vaccination program in the country.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Light.
A special Gazette notification has been issued recently setting a maximum retail price of 3,000 rupees per oximeter. In recent days, some pharmacies have been selling oximeters at exorbitant prices, and there have been reports that some stores are selling substandard oximeters. Minister Rambukwala stated that steps will be taken in the future to provide a proper standard and set a maximum price for more such medical and health equipment.
World News.
World News headlines. On Afghanistan crisis, Taliban kills civilians in resistance stronghold. North Korea tests new long-range cruise missile. Fake Walmart news release claimed it would accept cryptocurrency. World News in detail. They have found that at least 20 civilians have been killed in Afghanistan's Panjshir Valley, which has seen fighting between the Taliban and opposition forces. Communications have been cut in the valley, making reporting difficult, but they have evidence of Taliban killings despite promises of restraint. Footage from a dusty roadside in Panjshir shows a man wearing military gear surrounded by Taliban fighters. Gunfire rings out and he slumps to the ground. It is not clear if the man killed was an army member. Combat uniforms are common in the region. In the video, a bystander insisted he was a civilian. North Korea has tested a new long-range cruise missile capable of hitting much of Japan, state media said yesterday. The weekend test saw missiles traveling up to 1,500 kilometers, the official KCNA news agency said. It suggests North Korea is still capable of developing weapons despite food shortages and an economic crisis. The U.S. military said the latest tests posed threats to the international community, and neighboring Japan said it had significant concerns. Finally, on world news, cryptocurrency Litecoin saw a sudden surge in price on a Monday over a press release about Walmart accepting it for payment, which turned out to be fake. The release, published through a legitimate press channel, claimed that Walmart would accept the currency through all its digital stores. Walmart later told U.S. media outlets the announcement was inauthentic. By that time, several major news websites and press agencies had spread the supposed news. That's on World News. Moving on to development news. 1,531 rural roads will be developed in Galle district. These roads are being developed under 1,081 projects administered by the respective divisional secretariats. Meanwhile, 450 projects are manned by local government bodies. A sum of 1,033 million rupees has been set aside for this purpose. That's on Development News.
Sports news.
In cricket, the third and final T20 match between Sri Lanka and South Africa will be played today as a night encounter. The match will be played at our Premadasa cricket ground under strict health guidelines. The match will commence at 7 p.m. local time. South Africa won the first two matches and already won the series. Sri Lanka is expected to put up a better batting performance to gain a consolation win in this match.
A safe, easy and versatile app for all your banking needs. NSB Pay for monetary transactions, bill payments, reloads, credit card payments and Lanka QR transactions. A range of facilities with multiple account registrations. Access to your bank needs wherever you are. Download the NSB Pay app from the Play Store or the App Store for free now. For more information, call your nearest NSB branch or 0112 379 379. Conditions apply.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The insurance industry was able to achieve a growth of 14.36% in terms of overall gross written premium during the first quarter of 2021, recording an increase of 7,211 million rupees when compared to the same period in the year 2020. The GWP for long-term insurance and general insurance businesses for the period ending March 31st, 2021 was 57,424 million rupees compared with the same period in 2020 amounting to 50,213 million rupees. That's on Business News.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A safe, easy and versatile app for all your banking needs. NSB Pay for monetary transactions, bill payments, reloads, credit card payments and Lanka QR transactions. A range of facilities with multiple account registrations. Access to your bank needs wherever you are.
And on economic news, Salt Collective Private Limited, a French hospitality development venture, will invest almost $4 million to set up a 16-room boutique hotel in Galle in the southern coast of Sri Lanka. The project is scheduled to be open for business in December 2022. Cyril Jacob, Chairman Salt Collective Private Limited, said despite Sri Lanka having experienced numerous challenges, which also include the COVID-19 pandemic, we are still great believers in Sri Lanka's tourism potential. That's on economic news. Weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at times in Sabaragamu and central provinces. Several spells of showers will occur in western and northwestern provinces and in Galle and Matara districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva and in Batticaloa and Ampara districts, particularly in the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com predicts that the weather in Colombo would be generally bright during the day. But there will be cloudy weather in the afternoon. Today's daytime temperature would be around 30 Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in Colombo in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 27 Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 Celsius at the time of the news broadcast. The air quality index is 16, which shows fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. That's our weather update. Heading back to the headlines. The Foreign Minister has prepared a report to reply the queries submitted by the UN Human Rights Chief. The UNHRC commends the efforts of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa addressing aspirations of civilians. Daily COVID cases count climbs to 2,560 yesterday. Sri Lanka records 135 new COVID-related deaths. The Health Ministry says that there are over 24 million who have been vaccinated against COVID-19 in Sri Lanka. Cabral appointed CV governor. News overseas: Afghanistan crisis, Taliban kills civilians in resistance stronghold. In sports, the third and final T20 match between Sri Lanka and South Africa will be played today as a night encounter. With that, we conclude this morning bulletin of news.